Evening, welcome to the Ori Glow and Grow YouTube channel. So I wanted to bring you a little bit of training this evening. I hope that this will last about 20 minutes or so. So hopefully you've had a chance to grab a cuppa, grab a pen and paper. Some of the points we're going to be going through this evening are really, really valuable to you, helping you run a successful business. And a lot of it to do with social media and strategy, and what to post on your page. And this is all going to be very, very helpful content, I hope. I've been very fortunate over the last couple of weeks to have some Zoom calls with Craig White. He's one of the best in the business, and he has given some really, really useful and valuable information, which I wanted to kind of consolidate and pass on to you. So we shall begin. I've got 6 points that I want to run through with you this evening. So I will keep looking down because I've got them all written down. I won't remember them otherwise. The first thing, okay, is we need to remember to be social on social media again. Now, I know that might sound really silly, like, Karen, where are you coming from? Or where are you going with this? But the point is, we are running a business and we know that. And we show up and we do our business hour or our business half hour or whatever. And we are taught to work on those income producing activities. And that's fine, but it becomes a bit of a tick box exercise, doesn't it? You know, we feel like obliged to show up, and then we start to maybe resent showing up a little bit because it's like, oh, okay, so I've got to connect again for 10 minutes and I've got to engage for 10 minutes and I've got to invite for 10 minutes. And it's brilliant that we have a business model that we can break down into pockets of time like that. But also, I think that it then makes us feel a little bit forced and a little bit salesy, maybe like we've got an ulterior motive, rather than it just being natural and authentic and organic. And I just feel that we need to start being social again on social media. And what I mean by that is the last couple of days, I have spent a good half hour or so of my business day, and I've been spending a little bit more than an hour a day working on this business lately. I've been doing about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And at least half an hour of that time, I have just been commenting on people's posts. So I will be going through my Instagram feed, seeing people's posts popping up, and it sounds a bit like, I don't know what the word is. It sounds like effort, sounds like hard work to, oh, I've got to read this person's post and then I've got to comment and sound interested and I've got to add value to them. But it's really, really important. It's an integral part of the business. And by you showing up and commenting on people's posts and asking questions on their posts will encourage them to reply. And then you get to reply back. You get a bit of a conversation going on people's posts, replying to people that have commented on your posts and stuff. And story engagements. We'll come on to a little bit more on story engagements in just a moment. But really, just the interactions and the engagement and comments. And I know it is a bit time consuming, but if you think about it, the more times someone sees you commenting on their post, the more aware of you that person is going to be. So that when the time is right and you do drop into their messages or you have a conversation with them, or you maybe want to invite them to learn more about the business, they're going to know who you are because you've already been showing up on their page and you've already been putting that time and that engagement in. Now, to make that easier, we'll come on to something in just a minute called a hit list. So you make sure that you're engaging with the right people. But what I would say about engagement and commenting on people's posts and stuff like that is make sure we're trying to ask questions, because we want to get a little bit of a conversation going on their posts and on your posts, just to get you out there, to get you seen. Yeah. So don't feel forced about it, and try, when you are working on the engagement part of your business, that you just try to, almost like you're not doing it for business reasons, just be social on social media and do it because you are enjoying seeing what people post and replying to their comments and stuff like that. Okay. That leads into a little bit more to do with stories and engagement on stories. Now, on your Instagram feed, you've got the little pink rings around people's stories. This is a really good indication of who you should try to be engaging with sort of first or on a regular basis, because these are people that have been active on social media within the last 24 hours. If they've got a story up, we know they're actively using social media, and we know that that would then make, or could potentially make, quite a good recruit for the business, because we want to recruit people in who are already active on social media. Now, what I would suggest that you do is scroll all the way to the very end. So go to the very last story, because that's going to be the story that's been up longest. So if you go all the way to the end, that last sort of unread or unviewed story, whoever that might be, they might have had that story on for like 22, 23 hours. And then engage on these stories, work backwards from there and react to the stories, comment on stories. If people have got polls or votes on, engage on their stories as well. And then that is going to kind of shake up the algorithm a little bit as well. And then people are also going to see you engaging through their stories. It's going to encourage them to visit your page and engage on your stories. It's a two-way street. So, and just a little bit on story engagement as well. I mentioned a hit list. Now, we know that part of our business is kind of finding new people to follow. So I will spend a little bit of time adding new followers. I'll go and find a few people to follow. Hopefully they'll follow me back. And I'll thank those people. Part of my business will be thanking them for their follow. I might ask, whereabouts are you from? Are you in the UK? Try and get a little bit of a conversation going that way. Having a hit list basically means think about someone that you might like to work with, someone that you might like to travel with, someone that you think that might have a good work ethic. So someone that you already think, I could like this person and I could see this person working in this business as well. They've got that way about them. And from there, you can create a hit list. Now, on Instagram, there is the little bookmark button on every post, which is where you can save items to a collection. Now, I have got a fairly new collection set up on Instagram called the hit list. And this is where I am saving people who I think would make really good brand partners. This might be new people, it might be people that I've been following for a while. And by adding people into that collection, into that hit list, what that then enables you to do is during your engagement part of your business hour, or your whatever you're doing to work the business, during that engagement section, however long that might be for you, you can make one of your jobs to go to that hit list, go into each of those individual people and see when was their last post. Have they posted recently? If they have, you want to be engaging on them, on those posts, or liking their stories or reacting to their stories. You know, these are already people that we know are going to be active on social media because they're the ones that we're looking for. And the chances are they're going to have regular posts going on. So they're your people that you want to be engaging with the most frequently and adding value, so they see your posts as well, so that when you do go in and invite them to the business, they know exactly who you are. They know you've got a business. They know that you're that supportive person that's always commenting on their posts, and they're more likely to be open to learning a little bit more about the opportunity. Now, that's your first couple of points. So first of all, be social on social media. Second of all, the engagement side of things, hit list, stories, etc. Point number 3 leads into conversations. Okay, so engaging on your hit list, as I've said, will mean that these people start to know you. When it comes to conversations, it just needs to be natural. We don't even need to really necessarily start to talk about the business or anything at first. Now, there's 2 ways of approaching this. This comes into invites. Some people like to be really direct. Now, I know we've got team members here who don't like to take all the time in the world and have the conversations and get pally and friendly with people, because it then feels artificial, because you feel like, oh, I'm only making a conversation with this person because I want to invite them to the business. And some people find it easier just to be more direct. And there is no right or wrong. That's absolutely fine. You can be a little bit cheeky with it. As Craig said, he might see someone who's started following him, who's got a really great page, they're active on social media, they've just got that way about them, and he might just drop them a message, a voice note or whatever, and just be really cheeky and say something like, hey, do you know what? You've got an amazing social media page. I'm loving the content that you post. You would be an absolute credit or asset to my team. Do you want to know a little bit more about what I do and how I earn an income online and how you could do it too? And you can just be really, really direct. And that works for some people, depending on who it is you're connecting with. But other people need that little bit of time to warm up to you, to get to know you. And that's where you need to be having a few more conversations. And if you do have someone that does converse with you in your messages, in your DMs, it can then make the invite feel more natural. Now, when it comes to the actual invite, think about how you would want to receive an invite. I think we can all tell when something has been copy and pasted time and time and time again. I'm guilty of doing it. I reckon that most of you who watch this back will be guilty of doing it. And there is a way you can word an invite to make it sound quite natural and genuine and authentic, but always make sure you relate your invite back to that person. So if you know that that person, for example, I sent an invite to someone earlier who I knew her son a couple of weeks ago had been in hospital. He'd had his appendix out, he's recovering at home. So I started that invite with, hi, so-and-so, how's things in your household now? Hope your little boy is on the mend and on the road to recovery. Hope you're not too stressed about it all. And then I went into my invite. So try to always relate your invite back to that person or something that's going on in their life. You might know that they've got kids or pets or whatever, but you make it personal to them. And then again, it doesn't feel like it's just a copy and paste job out to loads and loads of people. And then leading on to, so that's point number 3, conversations. Number 4 is your content. Now, content actually isn't the most important thing. As Craig was saying in our call the other day, conversations and engagement, they are the most important things. Being seen and getting noticed and people knowing who you are when you go into their inbox, that's far more important than content. A lot of people think they need to be bashing content out there left, right, and center. But actually, it's those things that we do in the background that are more important than the content. Obviously, we do still need to be putting content out there because that is what is going to attract our followers. And eventually, later down the line, we hope that it's attraction marketing. So people come to us. But that does happen much later on. And probably not many of us are there yet, and that's fine. That is still to come. But when it comes to content, Craig's ideal, and this is entirely up to you whether you follow this or not. I have been, and I love having a little bit more structure and strategy like this. In an ideal world, he goes for reels. Most of what his content is reels. Now, that's not to say you can't just put a post or a story or a carousel or whatever on your grid. You can still do that in between if you can't come up with enough reels. But I've been posting 3 reels a day. I've been putting a morning reel on. So I've been scheduling them, because if you didn't already know, you can go into Instagram and you can or Facebook, and you can actually schedule your post to drop out at a certain time of day. And this can be really, really time saving. Like on a Sunday, I might sit down and do some content planning, and I'll make up a load of reels, schedule them so they just drop out during the week. And it's a massive time saver. The other time saver is ChatGPT. Now, this is an AI piece of technology that basically writes all your posts for you. We can do a separate training that another time. Won't go into too much detail on that now. But one reel in the morning, which I'm focusing on lifestyle. So that might be me in my morning routine, or getting ready for work, or my gym routine, or taking my supplements, or whatever. It's just or something to do with the family or the kids. A reel that's to do with your lifestyle, which shows you as you are as a person, not your business, not any products, but you. The second reel I've been dropping in has been product related. Now, what I have found is focus on one product for a week and show it in as many different ways as you can. So all of this week, I've been focusing on the wellness supplements. So I've done reels on the wellness supplements. I've done stories. I've put posts on. I've done live videos. I've gone into my private Facebook group and done videos on it. All of my content this week has been centered around wellness supplements. And that's because it's a well-known fact that somebody needs to see something pop up at least 7 to 9 times before they start to go, hang on a minute, I keep seeing this pop up, but what actually is it? Before they actually realize I want to learn more about it. So second reel being to do with the product and trying to focus on one product, but show that in a slightly different way each day of the week. And then my third reel, my last one at the end of the day. So we follow the boom, boom, pow technique. Reel 1, boom. Reel 2, boom. Reel 3, pow. The business related reel, which is going to be the recruitment post, recruitment reel. Any inspiration you need, go and have a look at my page, go and have a look at Craig's page or any others in the business. You can save reels, you can save the audio, and it doesn't need to be difficult. Initially I thought, crikey, 3 reels a day, that sounds like a lot of time and a lot of hard work, and how am I possibly going to come up with that much content? But actually it's not that difficult. For example, we went out for a family walk last weekend just gone, and all I did was take half a dozen 5-second videos, like panning the camera around the countryside or the sun coming through the trees, and it can just be like literally a 5-second like landscape clip or something that you can then pair that little video clip with some inspirational audio and a bit of text about the freedom that the business gives you and the ability to work anywhere or be present for your kids, and just little things like that. So it doesn't take a lot of time. But also what you can do is, if you say you've filmed your morning skincare routine and you've put that into a 10-second reel, you can then use that same content to put a story on or a post on or something. So you don't need to keep coming up with new content. You can just show that same content in different light on different days of the week. And yeah, the other thing in terms of content, if you can aim for 3 reels a day, perfect. If not, don't stress about it. A couple of reels a day, or even if you want to start, set yourself a little challenge of doing 1 reel every day, maybe say the same time every day for 30 days, and see what that does to your following, see what it does to your engagement, and see how many views and how much exposure that gets you. But make sure that whoever is viewing that 1 reel a day, or whoever is commenting on it, you're taking the time during your engagement part to reply to those comments or say, oh, thanks for liking my reel, and actually focus on those people that have shown up for that one decent piece of content each day. So don't stress if you can't get that number of reels out. Start with 1, then up it, and then up it, and so on. The other game-changing thing which Craig considers is live videos. And I know that not everyone is comfortable with this, but if you can go live either in your private Facebook group or on Instagram twice a week, once talking about your product of the week. So for me, I went live and I was talking all about my wellness supplements and the benefits that each of these tablets have. And a second live focusing on the business and the benefits of the business, and maybe like the top 5 things that you love about the business. And this can be great because if you're doing a live video on the top 5 things that you love about the business, you can then break that down into 5 individual reels about the business. That's a week's worth of content, 1 reel a day for 5 days. Reel number 1, the first thing that I love about my business. Reel number 2, the second thing that I love. Or you can do 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, so that people keep coming back and wonder, oh, what are these 5 things? So yes, that is content. Couple final things. We are nearly done. I'm about 5 minutes away, so hope you're still with me. If you are working your business offline, so if you are the type of person, back in the day, traditional way of doing it, old-fashioned way of doing it maybe, but actually more sociable way of doing it, and probably the healthier way of doing it, because you get out and get walking. You're running your business offline, there's a couple of tips here that Craig delivered. Now, offline means that you're basically getting your catalogues delivered and you're going out and delivering catalogues with order forms, putting a date when you're going to go and pick up those order forms, then you go and pick them up, you bring them all home, you process all the orders through your brand partner Oriflame account. Obviously, the customer pays you the full amount, but you're putting the order through with your 20% discount. That's where you're earning commission that way. And then all the products are delivered to you, and you're going to have to distribute them to your customers. Now, some people don't have the time for that. I don't have the time for that. I like people to order direct, but also there's a big call out there for people that do want that door-to-door kind of service. And there's also brand partners that want to do it that way because it fits in with their lifestyle. So top tip is do 30 catalogues with 30 samples, and this just needs to be an individual sample. We get them in our sample shop in our Oriflame back office, 20-30p each, and that could just be a skincare sample. It could be one of our vegan want range samples. It could be anything. You could go and order 30 samples. So 30 catalogues with 30 samples and 30 order forms. But don't just go and drop those 30 into random houses that you have no idea who lives there, because they will probably end up in the recycle bin and you probably won't get any orders out of them. Ideally, have an offline hit list. So think about 30 people that you might know in your local town or village that you think might want to help you or support you, and go and deliver those catalogues to those 30 people. And if you get any orders back from those 30, that then allows you an avenue to have a conversation of that aftercare, that customer service afterwards, to make sure that they've got their products. Are they happy with them? What do you love about the skincare set that you bought? And you can then ask, do you know anyone else that might want a catalogue? Because then that warm market grows and you're not just dropping catalogues into anyone and everyone. But the other tip would be to make sure you distribute those catalogues at least 2 days before the new campaign starts. So what we mean by that, for example, is catalogue 16 is our Black Friday catalogue. That starts on the 25th of October. Ideally, you want to bulk order your 30 catalogues or whatever, go and deliver them to your 30 known people on the 22nd, 23rd of October, just a few days before that catalogue launches, so that you can then go and pick up those catalogues and any order forms a few days later. So maybe after the campaign has launched on the 25th, maybe the 28th, 29th, maybe the 30th. You want to give people 4, 5, 6 days to have the catalogue, pop their order forms down and go back and pick them up. And then you're processing the order, you dispatch it all to your customers once it's arrived. And the idea there is that in your first week of the campaign, you're achieving your 200 BP, your bonus points, in an ideal world. And that might take a little bit of time to build. You might have to deliver your catalogues to those same 30 people for 3 months running, or for 3 catalogues running, before they realise, oh, okay, so this is a regular thing and I'm going to take a look at it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of advice on catalogue dropping, really. The final thing is to do with sales and recruitment. Now, Craig has said, I'm going to keep saying that, Craig has said, if you are aiming for 300 to 500 BP per catalogue and 3 to 5 recruits, new brand partners per catalogue, that is what is going to really build your business and build the momentum in your business really, really quickly. You're not going to achieve it every catalogue, to be honest. It's a high goal, but there are things that you can do to help yourself get there. Things like PTA fundraisers and the catalogue dropping and various other things, but samples, for example. But aim for 300 to 500 BP in personal sales. That's not from your team, me personally, or you personally. Now, 300 BP, it's about 350 quid's worth of sales. 500 is about 580, I think, quid's worth of sales. And it all comes down to how hard you're willing to hustle. We have very much slipped into a way of, let's be relaxed about the business and let's just take things in our stride and let's just do 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. And we have forgotten a little bit how to hustle. We are here to hustle and earn an income and make this work and be successful. And that 300 to 500 BP won't come unless you are showing up every day and putting the time into your business and hustling for it. Invite people to try samples. Now that's a really good way, particularly like at this point in the year where we're coming up to Christmas. Perfumes are a really, really good a gift idea for people. So you could invite people to try a sample perfume or to try a sample skincare set, and that then might lead into more sales, which ultimately ups your BP. Once you have started to build a little customer base and you've got a few people who have maybe come back to you regularly or have ordered a few times, reach out to those VIP customers who have ordered a couple of times, thank them, maybe offer them to send them like a free little, I don't know, sample of something, but also ask them, would you mind sending on my digital catalogue, or would you mind handing out a copy of my catalogue to 5 of your friends? So you go to your top 5 customers and ask them to hand out a catalogue with your business card or the digital catalogue to 5 of their friends. And that then just is a way of getting referrals out there. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. Probably went on a little bit longer than 20 minutes. Any questions, pop me a message and let me know. And I wish you all a lovely Friday evening and have an amazing weekend. Speak to you soon.